Hello my loyal companions, welcome back to the channel. Now Season 3 is less than 2 weeks away and we saw from the PTS server and the patch notes some really interesting weapon and balancing changes that are going to be coming to the game within that lore. In this video I'm going to go over my thoughts and opinions on those balancing changes, tell you some of the key things you need to know about it so you're prepared to understand how the game is going to change in terms of weapons going into Season 3. Now though guys, if you do go on to enjoy the video or you appreciate the educational content coming out from this channel, make sure you drop a like, subscribe. For now though, let's get into it. Okay, so Rogue Company has a sort of history with really focusing on their weapons and changing a lot of the core mechanics of their weapons within their big patches. With Season 2, it was the start of the time to kill change that they later reverted. And throughout the season, we've seen a bunch of nerfs and buffs coming to different weapons within Rogue Company. However, Season 3, they're taking a much more directed approach to their balancing changes when it comes to weapons. And in this video, I'm going to go over the important ones. I'm going to show you them on screen. And I'm also going to explain to you why they're going to do them, because I think that's an important part. Now, to put this very simply, everything is getting buffed, but it's not quite that simple, and there is a very good reason behind it. Currently within Rogue Company, weapon upgrades don't mean a lot. You upgrade them because, yes, they make your gun ever so slightly better at certain situations, whether it be hipfire accuracy, magazine size, range, whatever it be. But realistically, those upgrades don't have the most focused weight to them. You don't buy them thinking, yes, now I've hit a big power spike within my gameplay. You just kind of buy them because you have the economy, and why wouldn't you want to upgrade the weapon ever so slightly? Now they're changing their focus, and they want weapon upgrades to mean something. They want every bit of points you put into your weapon to have weight and value, and that is what they're adding within this Season 3 update. I think understanding that is very important when you look at these upgrades to kind of determine why they did it, rather than just seeing the damage numbers and thinking, oh my gosh, these weapons are now insane, or these upgrades are way too powerful. You have to think about the reasoning behind it and why they've done this, and actually in terms of game direction, playing it on the PTS, I like the way this has gone. Yes, I have my grievances with some of the particular changes, particularly when it comes to shotguns and the Fixer tier sniper rework, but for the most part, I like what they've done. I like the direction that they've gone with this. But I do want to know what you guys think in the comments. So let me know, what do you think of these weapon changes? You'll see them on screen as I talk through them. But let me know, what do you think? Do you think it's too much? Do you think it's too little? Let me know. Now, they did literally change almost every single weapon, so I'm not going to go over every single one here in this video. The ones I'm going to be talking about are the ones that I felt had the most weight or most change that you're going to want to know before we get into Season 3. So to start with the Revolver, the LW6 Revolver, which is Dallas's pistol. This is getting a upgrade, and its first upgrade, the level 1 upgrade, so it's headshot damage, and it's going from the base 60 to 65. And what this means, and why this is actually so important, is it means that you can now one tap to the head and one tap to the body if you buy that first level upgrade. I actually think Dallas players are going to do this. I think I'm going to do this on Dallas. Level 1, instead of buying padded steps, instead of buying an incendiary grenade, potentially buying that level 1 upgrade for your revolver to get that one head, one body kill pressure potential. And I think that's going to be really valuable for players, and I do see them going forward with it. And I actually like this change. It makes it like a mini devotion almost off of round 1, which definitely leads it towards being a very strong pistol. When we get into the SMG category, it gets kind of interesting. Whilst every SMG is getting in some way a buff, whether it be making the upgrades they already have stronger, so it makes a more hipfire accuracy rather than the little bit it has currently, or more range, or more bullets in the magazine, there are a few weapons that have got a very specific change when it comes to the SMG class, and this is going to be a no jump penalty in terms of accuracy. And let me explain exactly what that means and which guns are getting it. The 3 guns that are getting it are the SLC, 24S, and the Objection. Essentially what this level 3 upgrade is going to do is remove the jump penalty. So currently when you jump within Rogue Company, it really does extend the amount of bloom that you have and the amount of recoil that you will experience with the gun. But now what you're going to see is when you jump and you say run around, jump a corner with this weapon, it's going to be far more accurate than some of the other SMGs and the other weapons within the game. This actually isn't a new feature, but a lot of people don't realize this is on every single shotgun already. Every single shotgun is 100% accurate when you're running and jumping, or when you're jumping. So this is just a small change to make SMGs kind of fall into that run and gun play style a little bit more. And after playing with it, I definitely like it. I think it's nice. I think it's a good change of pace for these particular SMGs. And I don't think it's going to be the most broken thing that everyone's kind of afraid it might be. I think it's kind of nice and balanced. It gives a bit more weight to the fast-paced nature of an SMG style play. Another notable change with SMGs is that the 24S, this is Lancer and Switchblade's SMG, is getting a buff in the level 3 upgrade also to having a 40 bullet magazine. Currently, when you upgrade it, you get a 34 bullet magazine. You're now moving that over to 40, and that's quite a considerable amount different and in line with some of the other SMGs in its class. Another SMG that is getting a buff but not getting the buff we previously talked about is the Knight, and its level 1 upgrade is getting a fire rate buff. You've seen a few of these throughout the patch notes, small buffs to fire rate when you upgrade some of these weapons. That's a really big thing, because when you upgrade fire rate, you increase the time to kill. And that's a really, really big thing when you're talking about any weapon. And so the Knight is getting one of these changes. There are a few others that I'll talk about on the list, but the Knight is the first one that is going to get a fire rate increase when you upgrade it, and its upgrade is in level 1. Assault rifles are up next, and essentially the assault rifle theme that I saw going through it was just improving the upgrades they already have, particularly when it comes to the range. The range numbers are getting quite considerably increased when you upgrade these weapons, so you're hopefully competing with more DMR type plays, some more longer range plays when you're upgrading these weapons. Specifically though, the HRM30KS is getting a bullet penetration upgrade when you do the level 1 upgrade. So now it will penetrate through people, giving it that piercing damage and allowing you to collateral people, which makes sense for this sort of heavy hitting AR. It gives it that sort of unique twist that some of the other weapons don't have with those pen rounds. When it comes to DMRs, there's no overarching theme. Again, all base upgrades are getting improved regardless and make them a little bit stronger, a little bit more weighty. But specifically with some of the DMRs, the Devotion is getting that fire rate upgrade I talked about at level 3. Its fire rate will go up to 2.5, giving you that little bit of an extra bam bam when it comes to the Devotion's one-tap head, one-tap body kill time that you're looking to aim with that weapon. When it comes to the Mamba though, that's got a really interesting change at level 3, and I really like it. It's essentially getting a mini stalker. So when you're aimed down sight, you do have a faster movement speed now when you get that level 3 upgrade with the Mamba. That change is actually already within the game on the MLX more, but it's now being added to the Mamba as well, and it's just a little bit stronger. It's not quite a Stalker, but it is a little bit better, and when you get Stalker, because DMR can have the Mamba with Stalker, it actually doesn't change it at all. It kind of just negates it. So in theory, if you're buying Stalker, you may not need this level 3 upgrade. Based on the testing that I did, there wasn't really much of a change when you have the two combined. Having one or the other felt pretty impactful. And then the last DMR that got a notable change was the D3DI, the Deadeye, which has now got a level 1 upgrade to give it bullet pen. I don't know what I really feel about this one. I feel like this weapon doesn't really need it. It's already a pretty big beamer, and now given the chance to collapse through it could really open up a lot of opportunities for this weapon. So a little bit hit or miss for me. I'm not sure I 100% agree with this weapon necessarily and its bullet pen change, but it's there regardless at level 1. Now we get onto shotguns, and these are questionable to say the least. I am not a fan of these shotgun changes, and I already believe they are looking to be toned down from what we see in these patch notes and what we saw in the PTS, but nothing's confirmed, so I will talk about it as it currently stands within the testing. Essentially, shotguns are looking to make a little bit of a return to within the meta of Rogue Company. Shotguns have always been a very hard thing to balance in any game. They're either too strong at their optimal ranges or too weak, and there's very much a difficult way of balancing properly. However, it looks like Rogue Company going for the, we want shotguns to have a place again within the game, and they are buffing them all with these weapon upgrade changes. The most noticeable one is coming for almost all the shotguns. They're getting a fire rate increase. That's going to be pretty impactful, especially something like the Arbitrator getting a significant fire rate increase on some of their levels is going to be kind of painful to deal with, because that 2-tap is really obnoxious, and almost every shotgun can 2-tap, if not 1-tap, if you're getting headshots in there. One specific shotgun that is getting changed in terms of raw damage numbers at level 1 is the Striker, which is going from 64 damage to 72 damage when you get that first level upgrade, which really does make it pack a punch. Again, I don't really love these changes for shotguns. I do not think that's necessarily the direction Rogue Company should go, being a third-person game. Having that 1-tap pressure, or now very quick 2-tap pressure from shotguns, isn't really that ideal. You don't really want that on a third peak going round, and my least favorite meta within Rogue Company was the shotgun meta we had back when Scorch was really, really dominant. So I'm not looking forward to that potentially resurging. Hopefully they decide to tune it down and maybe go a little bit lower on some of these changes, but the shotguns for me are definitely not a winner in these patch notes. But they are getting changed nonetheless, and it's useful that you guys maybe start practicing with shotguns in case they are that little bit of a powerhouse that we're going to see. I feel kind of bad saying that because I'm now going to run into a bunch of shotguns in ranked, and I don't want that, so do it, but also don't, please. And that brings us on to the final weapon change, which is going towards the tier. This is Fixer's Sniper. The 1-bullet sniper that we have currently within the game is getting a rework. Not necessarily a specific change, but a rework. And it's reverting essentially back to what it used to be. If you weren't here with the Fixer's original launch, his sniper used to have 2 bullets in it with an insane fire rate. It had very much reduced body shot damage and headshot damage to make it more like a long-range DMR, but still have that 1-tap head pressure at most ranges. And now it's being reverted back to that. It's definitely getting that 2 bullets back, that quick fire rate, and slightly more minimal body damage and headshot damage, but it will still pack a punch. If you were some of the people who originally played with that weapon when it first launched with the 2-tap, it is a little bit harder than it used to be. It used to be really free. There was also no recoil. You could just body within milliseconds and drop people. And with the replenish change, that's also kind of painful. But it is a little bit hard to hit that second shot now. Still, not if you're a good player, not that hard. But yeah, I don't know how I feel about this. I hated that 2-tap weapon. I really didn't like it. I thought it was really obnoxious, and it kind of really negated the point of having the Deadeye, which was a 3-tap at all ranges, when you have this weapon that is a 2-tap at all ranges to the body, which is far easier to hit than anything else in the game. So I don't love the change. I would not really like it to be reverted, but it is, and that's kind of all we got at the moment. Unfortunately, we will see how it goes. We'll see how the sort of people's reaction to it will be and how they decide to change based off that. But at the moment, it looks like the 2-shot sniper is coming back into Rogue Company. Make of that what you will. That, though, guys, is going to be all the balancing changes and the end of this video. If you do like the content coming out from here, make sure you drop that like and subscribe. You can also come follow me on twitch.tv/RADTHARGAMING. If you want to see live gameplay commentaries, I'm also on Instagram, TikTok. I have a second YouTube channel, which I'm probably going to start uploading to more very shortly, all linked in the description below. For now, though, guys, I hope you have a fantastic day. And as always, remember, be loyal, be brave, be relentless. And I will catch you in the next video.